Si-Solation is not good for me. Si-Solation, I don't want to sit on the lemon tree.
Alright, enough of that. Hello guys and welcome to episode 1 of Si-Solation. I'm Simon Atkins and you're live with me, Graham. Like a lot of people out there, especially freelancers, I have a bit of spare time on my hands. So instead of getting a haircut, a much needed one, I'm going to be speaking to some inspiring and talented people to, figure out what makes them tick, but also how they are staying positive and being creative throughout the isolation period. So without further ado, I'm going to get my first guest on. See if we can do that right now. I'm a bit of a technophobe. Let's see if this is going to work for me. Waiting for the first guest.
Hi.
There she is.
Hi.
Rachel, how are you?
I'm good. I spot a little Shabby Chic painting behind you.
Well, so I was going to ask you, okay, so this is very Shabby Chic, but also we bought this little mirror in that market in France when we were together.
Oh, yeah, with Catherine Ireland.
Yes.
Yes.
So listen, let me give you a proper introduction. So everyone, for people who don't know, this is Rachel Ashwell, who is the original founder of Shabby Chic, who started a brand that she didn't really know she was starting back in 1989, which became one of the most iconic brands of the 90s and is still a hugely successful brand. So Rachel, hello, welcome to Si-Solation episode 1. What are you sitting on? Oh, she's got the water. Listen, we're going to talk all about isolation in a bit, but we want to talk about you and figure out, I'm sure you've talked about your brand and how it all started, like, for a lot. But for our viewers and for my kind of Instagram viewers, I just want to have a chat through that and kind of like, how you built a really successful business from scratch. So you were born and bred in London, weren't you?
I was, yes. I was.
And a very modest
American father, American dad, a New Zealand mother. So I was first generation English.
And how did you kind of live your life in England before you moved to California? And where did the idea for setting up Shabby Chic come from?
Well, I was born into a flea market family. Mum was an antique doll collector and dad was a book dealer. So I'd been dragged through the flea market. So I had that somewhere in the back of my head. Then I left school. I decided to leave school at 15, actually physically left at 16. And I became a stylist for photographers and commercials. So you put those two things together, you're already becoming like a bit of a flea market storyteller. And then at 19, I moved to California.
Very young to move to California back then.
I know, it was.
Head off on your own.
Yeah, didn't know a soul. Not a soul.
What was that like, that time, that period in your life?
It was like, I don't know that I'd ever seen a palm tree. So it was just like this adventure. I mean, I was very into the movie industry. I loved Marilyn Monroe. So I just thought, I'm just going to go and see this land of opportunity, which of course it became for me. It's a bit different. But so when I went to California for several years, like about 10 years, I was a stylist. I continued doing that stylist work of doing props and costumes. So then I had Jake and Lily, who you know well.
So you met your then husband, you had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And then you saw a gap in the market in some way, but obviously inspired by,
it wasn't even as planned as that. After I had my kids, I knew I wanted to go back to work, but I thought I just want a quiet little shop that can just allow me to put the kids in the back room and it can just be this quiet thing. I had started making, not physically, but having made these slip covers for my own home. And all my young mum friends were saying, can you make those for me? Can you make those for me? So I thought, oh, maybe that's a better business. I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the studios to do the styling. So it never was supposed to be this huge thing that it became.
But then, so you opened, so with the popularity of that, you opened your first store in Santa Monica.
Yeah, still there.
In where?
It's still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
In '89.
Yeah, were you born then?
Sorry?
Were you
No,
born?
I was 9. I was 9.
Oh, okay.
Shit, I'm giving away my age here. I shouldn't be doing that. So you opened up your first store in '99, then followed New York, then followed San Fran, then followed Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that it was going to be such a successful business, and that that you had actually cornered a niche in the market without you knowing it?
No, I mean, not when I opened the first store, but it very instantly took on this whole engine of its own. And so that's why I, with confidence, opened these other stores. But from the beginning, no, I thought it was going to be this sleepy little shop that may not even be open 7 days a week.
But so I suppose, so Shabby Chic wasn't really a thing, was it? Did you coin the phrase Shabby Chic, and just what exactly is the aesthetic of Shabby Chic?
It's really what those two words are. It's something that's rough around the edges. In my world, it's mainly home decor, could be your clothes. So it's something that's rough around the edges, but then you bring in this little twist of fancy chic, so that the chic isn't intimidating because it's got this rough around the edge thing, but the rough around the edge thing isn't too tired because it's got this chic thing. So you put them together. It could be the same thing as wearing an old pair of Levi's with some Gucci shoes. And
the great thing about it is that it's so accessible, isn't it? So people can kind of create that look themselves by going to flea markets and by finding.
It's morphed into quite another aesthetic in some instances.
But so, God, and some of those aesthetics are like, there's definitely some tacky stuff out there now. But when it kind of started off, and you had 3 stores, next thing, celebrities are buying your furniture and being photographed with it. What was that time in your life like? And did you have any idea that it was going? That must have been quite baffling.
It was, and I remember fairly soon after opening, watching the Academy Awards one evening. And I kid you not, nearly every single person that was interviewed on the red carpet got an award. I thought, oh my God, that's a customer, that's a customer, that's a customer. It was just
crazy.
It was crazy. It was.
But you hadn't even taken on a publicist. And so it all came from your stores, right?
I still don't have a publicist. No.
I think you're a publicist.
Sure.
But so why do you think it became so popular so quickly? Was it quickly?
I think for a few reasons. One, I think emotionally it struck a chord with people.
Yeah.
There was something familiar about it and nostalgic about it that people couldn't quite put their finger on or describe it, but all of a sudden I had created this thing that they thought, oh yeah, that's what I love. I think it's also very easy to live with. And
it's comforting.
You can be minimal with it. You can be Marie Antoinette with it. You can be modern with it. You can be bohemian with it. And what's also really nice about it is you can layer in maybe some heirlooms that you have. So it's not like this style that you have to get rid of everything you have just to own it. So I think that's also why.
What kind of celebs were buying your stuff at the very beginning? I'm sure they still are now, but like, who've you got in your phone book?
Walking through my door, Bruce Springsteen. He was my biggest crush. Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Gwyneth Paltrow, Brad Pitt, Madonna, Michelle Pfeiffer, Julia Roberts. I mean, I don't want to brag. And I'm just saying that they were very instrumental in really making this a global brand. If it was just me by myself, it probably would have been a really successful neighborhood store. But they kind of catapulted it into this global brand.
So I suppose there was there was the celebrities, but then there's the book deals, there was the TV show, and that really bolstered the brand even more. When they came to you and said to you, we want to do a book with you, did you think like, what am I going to do a book about? Like, was it kind of
I did.
Were you thinking like, okay, I should do this, or did you think, I'm not sure if this is like, what can I do?
Yes, I just want to say one thing though. The celebrities were amazing, but what has kept my business going all these years are just everyday people. So I want to make everybody know.
Of course. Yeah.
It's the whole family of Shabby Chic. This very well-known publisher, her name's Judith Reagan. She came into my store and she said, I want to do a book. And I said, well, what can I write about? A sofa and a chair? And she was really good at like showing me, or not showing me, explaining to me how to kind of flash that out. Same with the TV show. a lady called Marta Tracy, who at the time was the head of E! Entertainment. She literally came in my store and said, "Do you want a TV show?"
That is a massive, massive, massive thing. And it must have been, was that really exciting for you? Or is that really daunting for you? Because, like, you know, someone's coming in they're offering you a TV show on
no, I mean,
which,
I don't think I realized the opportunity. I said, yeah, sure, why not? You know, I mean, and I think that's actually been some of my success is I haven't said no to much. Some of those things have turned out not to have been worthwhile.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, why not do a TV show? And so it went on for 3 years.
For 3 years. And so that was you, were they following you around the flea markets? Were you doing floral arrangements, or was it a mixture of everything? Did you have, was there different?
It was a mixture of everything. It was a mixture of everything. But, you know, Jake and Lily were very young then. So I didn't like to spend too much time out of the house. I still wanted to be in the carpool lane. So an awful lot of those shows were shot in my Malibu house, much to their chagrin, because, you know, they would come home from school and I'd say, "You've got to be quiet because we're shooting."
We're shooting again. And they're like, "Mom, I just want dinner. I just want dinner and watch TV."
And then, like, I had a trainer that would come at 4:30 every morning, you know.
4:30?
Yeah, because, you know, I had to do my training, then I had to get the lunches ready, then I had to drive the kids to school, and by 7 o'clock we would start filming. So it was a lot of work.
So that was kind of like, yeah. So that's kind of like, that was at the height of Shabby Chic, wasn't it, really? And then Oprah happened.
Yeah.
So Oprah had a strand on her show, which was called Favorite Things.
Yes.
And she picked your T-shirt bed sheets. Is that right?
Yeah, the way that came out, I had been on her show before then. One of my books called The Flea Market Treasure Hunting Book. I went on the show and I did like a room for her to show, you know, how you can pull together a room from flea markets.
And so you were on Oprah. You were on Oprah.
Oh yeah.
That's like,
yeah. And so
that's my dream.
So, I know. I mean, I wish I could work with her again. She's extraordinary. Yeah. I mean, I
someone just said I got the crochet comforter from Simply Shabby Chic.
Oh yes, hi, lovely
London. And someone else said they're sitting on your Shabby Chic sofa. Right
oh, jolly good. So anyways, with Oprah, what I did quite innocently is I sent her a set of sheets just to thank her for having me on her show. There was no like premeditated agenda. So I sent them to her, and the next thing I hear, we've been picked. But the way that show works is to go on it to you know, have your one of the 20 favorite things, is you have to give one of those things to the whole audience, which at the time to me represented about $15,000.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money. And I thought, is it worth it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? And I nearly didn't do it. But in the end, I did do it. And sure enough, it was before these lovely cell phones. All our communications were just, you know, the cord on the wall. And I was, excuse me, I was in the Hamptons, and we turn it on, and she's sitting on the bed with Sylvester Stallone. And she's asking Sylvester Stallone, you know, what's your favorite sheets? And he said something like, I don't know, Frette or something. And she said, you know.
Hello? You still there?
Hang on between these two superstars. And our phone lines crashed, and it was this crazy situation. I mean, I think there was something like $1 million of orders, which of course I couldn't fulfill. I didn't have the capacity to do that. So
did you have to take on loads of staff really quickly to try and
no. I mean, we couldn't do it. It was just too much of an explosion. So of course all the big guys, they jumped in there. You know, all the big bedding manufacturers, they jumped in there and they picked up the business. But it definitely took me to a different level. It was amazing. We've
got loads of people. My entire Hamptons house is Shabby Chic couture, and Lauren just said she's cooking in her shabby apron.
Oh,
there's a lot of
so this must be American people.
Still a lot of shabby love out there, isn't there? Like, I mean, I'd say you have a really, really loyal following, a loyal fan base.
Well, I call it the family. I say it's a Shabby Chic family. It really is.
Was that really surreal then when that happened on Oprah?
Yeah. I was with the kids. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been talking all day long. Sorry.
Don't worry.
So much for this isolation. Anyway, so yes, I was in the Hamptons with the kids, and we were with friends, and I just thought, oh my God, this is a whole new stratosphere. So what it did do for me, it really opened up a wholesale business, which I had not been in at that point. I think I had my four, maybe 6 stores at the time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, all these big retailers, Bloomingdale's and, you know, Macy's and all those stores, they thought,
Great.
oh, what
All
is
want
this?
your stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that really, does that really catapult it even more?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different business. And this is where I say, what I do is when opportunity strikes, I tend to say yes before I really understand what it means. You know, if you're in the retail business, that's a much different business than a wholesale business. So
Right.
I said yes before I really understood what that meant.
So by 2009, you were riding high on Shabby Chic success. You had 6 stores open. You had 2 big licensing deals, 65 employees, and I've heard 20 million in revenue. You'd taken on a CEO, and then you were talking to investors to expand your business to 57 stores over 5 years.
Yes.
So talk me through what happened then.
Well, that was in 2007 when there was a lot of investment money around. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to sell the whole company, part of the company, what capacity. I knew I wanted to still be involved, but I knew, you know, Jake and Lily were going off to college, and I thought, okay, it's time for Shabby to go off to college. You know, there's stuff I don't know. So in the end, I decided to sell a minority portion of the company. And I was going to stay involved, but these really great guys in suits, they were lovely. They're still friends of mine. I just thought, you know what, they've all been to business school. They know
what they're doing.
They know.
Yeah.
So they did get involved. And sadly, by 2008, everything was gone.
Because the housing crash happened, didn't it?
Well, the whole financial crisis happened. And so we got caught in that. But even that aside, you know, not everybody goes under when that type of thing happens.
Yeah.
You know, when you're dealing with selling sofas, they're big items. You need to have good logistics. You need to have good manufacturing. We're not selling just T-shirts that if it gets sent to the wrong place, you send it somewhere else. I mean, we were having sofas that were supposed to be in Florida, go to Boston, and it was so chaotic. And also, it grew too quickly. You know, we had too many VIPs of this, VIPs of that.
Did you have, so when you were, you know, so you started with 1 store in Santa Monica. When you found yourself talking to investors going, okay, we're going to expand to almost 60 stores across the US, were there any alarm bells in your head, or what were you kind of like feeling inside? Like, did you?
I tell you what I was concerned about. I wasn't so concerned about what actually broke us, which was, are they going to hire the right people and the logistics? I thought that was kind of like a no-brainer. What I was concerned about is my stores, all 6 of them, were on really great streets. You know, they were in Soho in New York. They were in Pacific Heights in San Francisco.
Massive rent, I imagine.
At the time, they were appropriate. You know, in the end, we got ousted out for the rents being too high. But
hello
really,
from Dubai.
Huh?
Hello from Dubai. It's my shabby life. Continue.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I'm just reading all these comments.
But you know what really I was concerned about was, were we going to find 57 Shabby Chic correct locations? And that was one of the problems, because what landed up happening, you know, when investors invest, they have a certain time agenda, and they wanted to open X amount of stores in X amount of time. And basically, some of these stores just weren't well placed. They were in these very shiny malls with shiny marble and automatic glass doors, and we can't tell our story in that environment. Okay,
so 2009 came. You had 9 stores on the go, and then the crash happened, and you had to file for bankruptcy.
So there were 15 stores by then.
15 stores open by then.
We opened 9 on top of the 6 I had.
Okay, so just talk me through that period of your life, because like obviously that must come with a huge amount of stress. Did you see your kind of like your whole life flashing in front of your eyes, going like, what the hell is going on here? And how do you come back from something like that? You're extremely resilient to do that.
Yeah, that was a rough year, because I also lost my mum that year.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was kind of torn between where I need to weep, really.
Yeah.
It took many years to come back, because basically for a few years there, someone else came along and picked up the pieces, and I was kind of involved, but not really. And it was really about, oh God, I'm going to get these dates wrong, and Jamie's going to be cross with me. But I think maybe about 7 or 8 years ago was when I actually got the brand back.
Okay.
In between then, I was involved, but I wasn't really in charge. So it took many years to clear up all of that damage.
And you had to shut your your first store, which is probably the store that you loved so much in Santa Monica, but then you reopened it, didn't you?
Yeah. It was funny because when that got caught up in this terrible demise, you know, it gets taken over by, you know, all these people selling everything off. And they actually really liked me, these people that were given control of it. And they were putting all these orange posters in the window. And I lived down the road from that store. And I was on the phone crying, saying, can't the posters at least be pink? And they said, no, Rachel, they have to be orange. But anyway, yeah, that's
just to match the rest of the style and the color palette.
But yeah, no, that store just went away for a few months, and then I was able to get it back. And so it's a very long, complicated story, but it was a tough time.
A tough time, but you know what? But like, you know, you at that point you can sink or you can swim, and you swam, didn't you? Like, so, and you kind of like you clawed.
I doggy paddled for a while.
You paddled.
I doggy paddled for a while.
That must be quite. It's like quite a stress on you, but also kind of like on your family.
Yeah.
But you're back in the game again. How did you claw it back, and how did you kind of like you know, rebuild your brand?
Well, you know, it took a while. Like I said, for 7 or 8 years, I was kind of involved creatively, but I didn't really have control. So eventually I did physically, you know, get it all back into my control. And quite frankly, it's taken us a while to work out what's the right thing. In those few years, in the last 7 or 8 years, the world has changed. You know, retail, brick and mortar isn't what it was then. So, you know, we opened a few stores, but then we worked out, you know, online is really where it's at. So the kind of the matrix of my company now is that one store in Santa Monica, an online business, and then we have some great license partners, because that enables us to stand without it being a big financial burden on me. And it also gets my product out into, certainly right now, all of America, hopefully the world at some point.
So so your stuff is in Target?
Yes.
And then is there stuff in shops and retail outlets in the UK?
Not right now. We're working on something. I can't quite mention it, but we are working on something.
You can't tell us. So then, tell me about the Prairie. So you're obviously obsessed with flea markets, and you go to Texas twice a year. Do you still do that?
No, I don't so much now, because I really do spend most of my time here in England, and it's quite a journey. But for many years, yes, I went to Texas twice a year for antique show.
And you stayed in a B&B?
I stayed in a B&B, and then during that whole chaotic, terrible time where my mother had passed and the business was in such crisis, I decided to buy a B&B. God only knows why.
I mean, like, why not?
Why not? So I did, and then it became this beautiful place. And they do say that the life of a non-occupier, meaning if you buy a B&B and you live on the property, it becomes your lifestyle. Then it can go on forever. If you don't live on it, it tends to be like a 5-year span, and that is how long that I kept the Prairie for. But it was a beautiful story.
You brought this B&B, you transformed it into an amazing countryside getaway in the middle of nowhere. Did you theme every room to exact? I mean, I imagine. You've showed me around your cottage. I imagine you like themed it to perfection, and then every room had its own USP.
I want to take credit where it's due. The bones of that place was already there. The cottages were there. They were really beautiful, and like there was a primitive one, and then there was like a little townhouse, and then there was a very English one. The prior owner embraced the Texan palette much more than mine, which is a lot of bright colors. So all I did really was strip away the decor part of it. And then that's where I added all of our, you know, luxury and our beauty.
Do you ever visit the Prairie now?
Do what?
Do you visit that B&B?
I don't actually, because not now. I mean, again, I'm in England a lot. And for me, one of the reasons I knew this wasn't going to be my forever to keep place is I don't do well in hot weather.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
She loves the rain. She loves the rain. So how weird that you like have lived in LA for like a major part of your life, and it's just so pleasant and sunny and warm there all the time, but you don't like that.
Yeah, but you know what's so weird is I've been here now for several weeks. I don't think I've seen a drop of rain.
I know, and it's raining in LA.
last night Lily sent me a video, you know, of the house, my house, pouring with rain. And I just thought, what is wrong with this picture?
The sun
It
just
only
follows
shows that I'm
you.
not-
The sun follows you wherever you go.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, obviously we're going through some crazy times at the moment, and it is a difficult period for kind of a lot of people. What are you doing to stay positive and be isolation period?
Well, I mean, I think I'm one of the lucky ones that best of times I'm quite an isolationist. I mean, obviously my daytime is always very busy and full. I'm not a party girl, and I really enjoy my own company. So for people that are very social, it's probably even more hard. But I did start a couple of weeks ago doing my own IGTV videos on my Rachel Ashwell. And that's been, you know, I tell my followers that it's really been a fabulous community for me. You know, they keep me company. And I've really been sharing my journey. So that's been really good. That takes up quite a bit of time. You know, I am in the middle of the countryside. I see nobody other than sheep, cows, and horses. So I do go for long walks across the fields because no one's going to see me. I'm safe. And then I do try and keep structure. You know, it's very easy in these times, not even to get dressed, not even to shower.
I know.
But, you know, I get up. And
you know what? I'm quite excited today to kind of to do a workout and then come back to the house and put a shirt on because I'm going to be speaking to Rachel. Right. I need to look presentable.
But I think those little things are important. I mean, I did a show with my audience on Sunday, and I put on a pretty blouse because I thought, you know, it's Sunday. And I'll show you later when we walk through my little cottage here. You know, when I have my meal in the evening, I make it pretty for myself. So, you know, I think, you know, we might be in for a while. And I just think it's really important to keep structure. And that whole self-love thing, I know that sounds very LA, but I think that it's really important to take care of ourselves. But as well, I think it's a time that whether it's our relationships, whether it's our businesses, whether it's how we view ourselves, I think it's a time that we are being forced. You know, usually when we're thinking about, is our life working, it's fleeting. We have this opportunity to dig deep and to come back, you know, having curated our lives so that they're just that little bit better. So I don't think it's, I mean, I think it's a terrible thing with what's going on in the outside world.
Yeah, but it does make you, as you said, it makes you look within. It makes you appreciate what you have and just and be grateful. And it just makes you appreciate the simple things in life, like going for a walk, like there's, you know,
quiet.
And like in some ways, I mean, obviously it's terrible what's going on, but I do feel it is digitally, but I do feel more connected now to people than I have ever felt before. And I'm good at like challenge people. Like I find myself just ringing people and challenge people to make sure that they're okay. And I think that's a good thing, you know?
Yes. No, I agree. I mean, I think we're in a way the privileged ones because we are in the safety of our homes right now. That's our job, is to stay home. So, you know, there's a big bumblebee right there. So, you know, let's not waste that privilege. Yes, let's use that time wisely. I think is important.
So you talked about your cottage there. So you've got a fabulous house in Santa Monica.
Oh, you love that house, don't you?
Oh my God, I love that house. But I got sick in that house over Christmas. I went out to visit Rachel a few Christmases ago, and on Christmas Eve, we went out to your ex-hubby's house for a fabulous meal. And for some reason, I got ridiculously sick, and I spent all of Christmas Day just on the couch sick while you cooked a lovely Christmas lunch. And I was eating some plain potatoes on the couch, feeling really sorry for myself.
Lily wasn't feeling well either that day, right?
So yes, that's right. Yeah. No, but I adore that house. It's just so, the aesthetic of that house, and just it's just so like, it's just so comforting, and it's so like you feel like you just want to lounge there all day, don't you? You don't really want to leave the house.
Yes, it's a good house. It's a good
house.
But
you've got a gorgeous little, like, you know, a set of kind of like farm shops almost at the back of your house, which is so nice. It's a really nice area. But hey, you're not living there. You're in the Somerset countryside.
Well, I'm trying to, you know that movie, The Holiday?
Yes.
I'm trying to live both lives.
Okay.
mean, I'm waiting for Jude Law to knock on my door. But that aside, I'm living both of those lives. I couldn't decide which one, so I'm doing both.
So you found yourself a little cottage in the Somerset countryside, and you've done it up to your taste. So what kind of things that are simple and easy can people that are watching kind of like do just to, you know, give themselves a little bit of inspiration to like do some, you know, interior design around the house? What have you done?
Just to let you know, I'm renting this, so I haven't done any like decorative things to it. I just really added my layer. If it was mine, yeah, there's darkish wooden floors, there's beams you can see behind me. This wall is a little bit cream for my liking, but I haven't done any of that kind of thing. I've just really done, you know, added my layer. What I really did was I had to send my Shabby Chic sofa over from the States. I won't sit on any other sofa than a Shabby Chic sofa. I'm sorry.
Do you spend a lot of time with that sofa?
The last few weeks, yes, I have. But you know what? It wears well. Of course, it's machine washable, so I can take it off and wash it. That's fine.
Yes.
And then I've got a chair that my mum used to have, which is really great. But other than that, most everything else I have found at the local flea markets. Obviously, I can't suggest to people to go to flea markets right now, but there's quite a lot of online. You know, of course, everybody knows about eBay, but there's several websites that you can still shop online and just find lovely flea market things.
Okay, well, show us around your little cottage there. Do you know how to flip the camera? So what kind of stuff? So, you know, I mean, just some simple tips for kind of like for people that are at home with, you know, spare time in their hands and they just want to, you know, use their time to be a little bit creative. Oh my God, what? It's so gorgeous.
Okay.
So beautiful.
So this is my, hang on.
Shabby Chic sofa.
This is my Shabby Chic sofa.
Love that.
That's where I sit. Really great.
Love.
This coffee table was a kitchen table. I found that at the flea markets.
Pip Taylor saying she loves a tour and she's getting one.
Oh, this is my little altar. All my candles. Love that. And over here, this is my mum's chair.
That's so cute. I love that cushion.
Yeah, I'm big on
needlepoint. Where's that cushion from?
Oh, that's a flea market. Flea market or one of the stores. Oh, this is my, you know, I think what's really important for structure is you give yourself little places to do things at.
I totally agree, especially because you're inside so much. You kind of want a little area to be creative and an area to relax, which you've got both.
This was me on my wedding day, by the way.
Oh my God. Look at you.
With a bit of scruff in my hair. So this is where, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm still very much in contact, even though we're on lockdown. I'm in contact with my crew back in Los Angeles. Yeah. So I've work to do. So this is my little place that I work. These are my faux magnolias. As you know, it's very difficult to get flowers right now, but I am not a flower snob when it comes to fake flowers. So those are fake flowers. A little chair that I just love. Again, I put another little needlepoint on it just to give it a bit of sweetness. These rugs, I found these rugs various places I've traveled.
Can you please source me a rug? I really want one of those rugs.
Yeah, but it's old. I can't just go find you one.
But no, you can find me one down in the flea markets beside where you live.
I know, but it's quite hard to find my palette. As you can see, this has turquoise in it, which is not such an easy thing. This is another great one. This is a pink one.
My friend just Pip Taylor just asked, where did you find the magnolias? Hard to find good fake flowers.
Magnolias, those I actually found at a flea market, but I've designed a whole load of, they're called forever flowers that we sell on our website.
ShabbyChic.com, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a really pretty rug. I love that. This is a little kitchen. My kitchen, I don't need to show you, but look at this lovely little guy.
Oh, little side table. It's so cute. Where is that from? A local flea market?
That's my dear friend Perlo, who lives down here, and she buys more than she needs, so I always kind of buy what she doesn't need anymore. A whole needlepoint little chair.
We love needlepoint, don't you?
Yes,
so nice.
I do. This is another desk.
Okay. Are they your books? They're your books, are they?
They're my books. I decided I'm going to write a novel, though. So
now's the time. You've got plenty of time for that.
Yes, and just today I'm signing up to UCLA to do a writing course because I've got great ideas, but I need some grammatical help. Love this artist. Her name's Jerome Moulin.
Lovely.
I think that's beautiful. That one's lovely.
Oh my God, I kind of want to just come and hang out in your cottage.
I've invited you. You know that.
And we go
Here's
for
a chandelier
walks.
that I haven't yet found a home for.
So hang on. So I remember this chandelier. You bought this chandelier when in France.
Oh, that one. This one I did.
But that's the one you bought in France. Because it's funny, because we were walking around the flea market together, and I said to Matthew, I was like, that's a really nice chandelier. I might grab that on the way back. And then I came back and you had it.
I know you guys. I think you guys still have my lamps. Remember you bought my lamps back?
Yes, you know what? So Matthew has rewired your lamps. He's using them in his place.
Oh, well, good. They've been okay. So now we're at my dining table.
So do you dine here every night?
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to become a couch potato. You know, I've got to keep some structure. So a couple of things to tell you here. I don't really like yellow.
Okay.
But you know what? In these conditions, we can find a lot of daffodils, at least right now at the market. So that's why I have those. But oh, look, you can see my washing on the line out there.
Oh, do you have so is that your bed linen?
Is that my who?
Is that your bed linen that's hanging out there?
You know what it is? No, it's some vintage pieces of fabrics that I love that are just a little bit bright. So I'm just letting them get a bit of sun bleach going out there. Isn't that pretty?
So nice.
Look.
Rachel, I absolutely love your place. It's stunning.
And then these are some carnations. So I bought these carnations again. They're a little slow to open. I put them out in the sun today. But then let's just go back inside. More things to talk about inside.
So hang on. So do you kind of get dressed up for dinner and place for do a place setting for one and sit down? No. Well, you do sit at the table and have dinner.
Yes, by that point I might be in my sweats again. So again, we've talked about the yellow flowers that, you know, don't love, but you know, I think they're pretty spectacular anyway. Yeah. But these are all faux flowers. Let me get the light right.
They're so cute.
But see, everything in my house has a price tag on it, just in case it lands up going back to Los Angeles.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And so all I did with this was I went to the hardware store and I just bought a little bit of mesh. Can you see that? Mesh there. Hang on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I bent the mesh, and that's what's enabled me to put all those flowers in. And I think that's pretty spectacular.
There's a lot of people that are your flowers on this right now.
Yeah, well, you know, then they should get my floral. They should get my floral affair book, because that tells it all.
Plug for the book.
Okay, then I have to confess, when I was just adjusting to this isolation, I did buy a couple of small bottles of tequila. And then I thought, you know, it took me a while to drink them, but then I thought I've got to put those to use. So that's what they become candle holders now, which I think is rather nice.
So when the first time I met you was a couple of years ago, but you didn't really drink, and now you're on the tequila.
I still don't drink. I still don't really drink, but I'm told that tequila is the best thing to drink if you're going to drink. But I mean, I drink like a thimble. I'm a fake drinker. So this is a typical little place setting for me. So, you know, I'll maybe have a little piece of bread or a little piece of salad. Yeah. And it layers like that. And then maybe I'll have a little dessert. Oh, but there's no...
Where are you gone? Are you there? You there? Rachel, oh no, don't tell me you're gone.
Of, you know, why not make it beautiful? So that's my
Somebody
table.
wants to know, Pips wants to know, what are the white collars on the bottles, please?
Collars. They're called bobèches. Most people know bobèches on a chandelier. They're typically glass. I found this amazing store in San Francisco called Tail of the Yak. If ever you're in San Francisco, go there. And they sold these. And so that's what they are. They catch the wax. They're really...
So cute. So you obviously had to ship a lot of stuff over then, did you, when you moved over?
No. I shipped my sofa.
Just your sofa?
There. I shipped my sofa.
Oh, sofa. I want to just lie on that sofa all day.
The chair is already here. No, nearly everything else came from flea markets here. This is quite a good thing, is I found for my kitchen, at different times, I found this little hutch dresser. And then
Lovely.
At a different time, I found this shelf thing.
You've got a similar kind of dresser in your home in LA, don't you?
Well, it's a big guy.
Yeah, it's much bigger. Yeah, but it's lovely. Oh, look, I love the little ballerina shoes.
Oh, you know me and ballet.
Oh, yeah, you're like pirouetting around the house on your own during the day, yeah.
So then this is kind of an overview of the whole room. You can see it. I'm kind of standing back in the kitchen now.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you know, you've seen, it's very different to where you stayed in my house in California.
Yeah.
That's obviously a big home. But you know what? Like I say, I'm living the holiday life. So this is the Kate Winslet home.
It's absolutely beautiful. Right, let me see you again. Where have you gone? Flip the camera back around.
Did I do that right?
There you are.
I'm going to put myself back on the stand. I think I look better when I'm in my little stand here.
Oh, you've got a little filming area, do you?
I do. You know, I do this.
Oh, nice. So you've got a proper setup. I mean, oh, where are you gone? Are you there? Are you there? Rachel. Oh, no, don't tell me you're gone. Hello? Oh, you're there. You're back. You're back. You went for a minute.
Yeah, I'll just...
You're back. You're back, though.
I know. I'll just have to hold it.
Oh, so nice. Listen, thank you so much for coming on.
It's good to see you.
It's been so nice.
You know what?
We could chat for hours, but like, I mean, I'm trying to keep it half an hour. It's 40 minutes now, but hey, it's been so nice to chat. Thank you so much for coming on. So many people are literally like talking about how they loved the tour of your house.
Oh, good. Yes, nice. And the sofa will travel. I mean, it traveled all the way from Manchester to here. But yeah, check out on shabbychic.com or follow me on Rachel Ashwell.
Rachel Ashwell, shabbychic.com to buy all of your stuff. And also your new book is out, which is called My Floral Affair. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not so new now.
It's still...
But my most recent, yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Good to see you. And see you soon.
Listen, I'm going to be back next week with another fabulous guest. So until then, stay safe, stay home, and stay positive. Next week, Rachel, thank you.